Greetings, friends. I saw the following question on a Kirov website. Quote, "We are so horrified, frightened, and disturbed by the attempted assassination of former President Trump. We feel unsafe, like we're standing on shaky ground preceding an earthquake. Is there something that Judaism teaches us about this?" And it was signed Barbara and Charles. Barbara and Charles did not write to me, but I'd like to answer anyway. In last week's Parsha, Bilam said, quote, "Oh, who will survive when Hashem imposes these?" In September 2001, immediately following the attack on the Twin Towers, Rabbi Yisachar Franz Lita delivered an emotional shiur explaining how this passage in the Torah refers to Galus Yishmael, the final exile before Mashiach, the exile of the Muslim peoples upon the earth. My friends, that is clearly where we are right now. Indeed, the Zohar explains that no exile will be as oppressive to the Jewish people as the exile of Yishmael. Yes, Barbara and Charles, you are so right. The ground is indeed trembling beneath our feet. And yes, the Torah teaches us all about this. It is predicted by our sages, but it is so overwhelming that we are afraid and want to look the other way. That, however, is dangerous. The problem with looking the other way is that, God forbid, the future will hit us from behind, and that is a recipe for disaster. I wrote a book about this entitled, Hold On, Surviving the Days Before Mashiach. My friends, this is not a time for panic, but rather a time to understand so that we can strengthen our connection to the Master of the universe, which is our only hope. Let's examine the world scene. The shot, which almost killed ex-President Trump, is only part of the deepening chaos which afflicts the entire world. From where does this chaos emanate? From the center of the world, which is Israel. Tiny Israel. Everything emanates from the Holy Land. If we are keeping the Torah, there will be peace in the world. My friends, I'm deeply pained to say there's a terrible war in Israel. I'm not speaking about Gaza, nor Lebanon, nor even Yemen. No, I'm speaking about the most terrible war of all, the war between those who love Torah and those who want to divorce Israel, Chas v'sholom, God forbid, from the only source of life. Truly, the most powerful army in Israel, in the world, are the B'nai Torah, through whom the entire world is sustained and protected. But we in this foolish generation are trying to destroy our only source of salvation, the Torah itself, and those whose lives are dedicated to Torah. Here is a quote from Nefesh HaChaim. Unquestionably, if there would be one moment when not one person is engrossed in Torah study somewhere in the entire world, all the upper and lower worlds would instantly cease to exist, God forbid. Furthermore, quote, every day destructive angels go forth to wipe out the entire world, if not for the synagogues and study halls. The angels would instantly annihilate the entire world. But evil people who call themselves judges want to strike out against the Torah. Please listen to the words of King David concerning lawless judges. Quote, they do not know nor do they understand. In darkness they walk. All foundations of the earth collapse. This passage in Tehillim in Psalms connects lawless judges directly with the collapse of the entire world. At the beginning of my book, 2020 Vision, I quote the Malbim who describes the final war in history, Milchemes Gog Umagog, as a cataclysmic battle between the Muslim world and the Western world, in which the combatants completely destroy each other. Following this, the world will be redeemed with the coming of Mashiach ben David and the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash. As frightening as are current events, the results of this chaos will be the total victory of Torah and the destruction of those who oppose Torah. Just the way Mitzrayim, ancient Egypt, had to crumble before Am Yisrael stood at Har Sinai, so too the current world culture apparently has to crumble before the final victory of Torah. We see the signs before our eyes. All the prophecies of events leading up to the Geula Shalema are occurring, just as the Torah predicted. Take, for example, the devastation in northern Israel, where our enemies are constantly sending rockets and missiles, burning the land and chasing the residents away from their homes. It's all predicted. The Mishnah in Sota says, quote, in the period which will precede the coming of Mashiach, the Galilee will be destroyed, and the people who dwell on the borders will wander about from town to town. Those who hate us are stepping into a trap. The Torah says, quote, your enemies shall perish, and all evildoers will be dispersed, but the righteous man will flourish. Those who hold the Torah close know these truths. They do not fear evil because their trust is in Hashem. May we see His great salvation soon in our days. Good Shabbos!